sometimes label people tend to minimize what publishers do, and publishers tend to minimize or try and say, why are they entitled to 80% of the money and we only see like 20% of the money? And that's leveling out a bit now. So I think the next couple of years are going to be interesting. Anyway, I'm going to do public disclosure. This is JP Fatta. He's the co-founder of Showpitch. Showpitch is a music discovery platform. Originally, he was going to do the presentation on his own. He asked me if I would co-host it with him. This is not an infomercial. This is basically trying to address the problems around discovery. So if any of you, who's heard me speak more than twice? 3 times. For Hank, you're the victim. I've talked about the fact that the great thing where we are today is that it's a level playing field and it's not controlled by the gatekeepers that controlled it. The really shitty thing right now is it's really a level playing field and nobody is running the show. So you may have an opportunity now that you never had before. You don't have to worry about getting in Tower Records. They're gone. You don't have to worry about getting your music played on WNEW. They're gone. But you do have to worry about getting noticed. So I had suggested to Tommy that JP come and speak about the problems around discovery. And how do you get noticed when you've got really great music, or you're a really great filmmaker, or you've written this really great screenplay in multiple verticals? How do you get people's attention? Because it's not about distribution anymore. And we could record this panel right now, put it up on iTunes and sell it. I'm not sure if anybody would want to buy me talking again, but it's not about distribution. It's about, we're in an attention economy. And how do you grab that precious thing right now is people's time. And how do you get their emotion? And how do you get them to invest in you emotionally? And then ideally with their credit card. So with that, I'm going to shut up. You have a mic in your hand. You could have interrupted me anytime.
I've been taught not to interrupt my elders. Yeah, they asked me to do this at the last minute, so forgive me. I've been undergoing a lot of sleep deprivation. We're getting ready.
This is in case you're nervous. Just take a shot. Go ahead.
I'm good right now.
Okay, good. This is supposed to loosen up anybody's
some of the things that, just real quick background, I come from the film and television side prior to that, consultancy for business development, and in endeavoring into pitch new show ideas, new scripted, non-scripted television shows to the networks and the industry itself, we started to take a look many years ago at the pitfalls that went into that. First of all, nobody wanted to take a shot at you. Second of all, every position that they have inside there is expendable, and they know it. They take your ideas, they try to build upon those ideas, they really have you do all the legwork, you spend the money, you come back, you pitch it, they ask you to change it again, you go back and you send it to them, they change their mind, they're looking for something else, and they move on. So we really got a first-hand look at what it took to actually try to break into the production side of the business. To take a look at how the ecosystem operated and worked. And we saw a lot of holes that were not being addressed, especially in this age of direct-to-fan, direct-to-distribution digital revolution that we're upon. I mean, it's a new marketplace with new players. People are able to pipeline content cheaper, faster, and quicker. But at the same time, in this new level playing field, it's no longer a who's who insider game. It now becomes, as Ted was saying, attention. How do you get the attention of your fans? How do you get the attention of the audiences that you need? And in a crowd-driven content world, one of the biggest problems that we're seeing is how do you break ground in this new era where it's very polluted? So there's
somebody said to me the other day, they said, how in this current environment does today's Elton John find today's Bernie Taupin? How does he find the person that is his soulmate? He writes great music, and there's a guy who writes great lyrics. The tools actually, that's what we need now, because I don't know where Elton met Bernie. It might have been in a bar, it might have been in high school, but wherever it was, that was a chance meeting. We have the ability now to tighten that up a little bit, don't we?
Absolutely, we do. You know, it's funny, we look at, you work inside your own sphere, right? You're launching a product, you're building an initiative, you're opening up a store, you're trying to launch a new label, you're trying to launch a new your new, whatever endeavor you're doing, you work with the people around you because those are the low-hanging fruit. They're not necessarily the most compatible for you. You look at Journey and Arnold Pineda and how they discovered him on YouTube. I mean, that's an anomaly and a sensation that they were looking for, and they actually were able to pair up to their counterpart that was an absolute fit for what they were looking for. But you look at all the artists that are out there, and you look at the people that are making productions, that are endeavoring into film, and you look at it's all cross-functional now. There's no system that's a unified, just one directional vertical. Everything interconnects. And how do you pair up with your counterparts? How do you find your counterparts? One of the biggest solutions that I think that is still to be addressed, and I'm not going to say which company is addressing it in the future, because this is not about that, but it's how do you match up with your counterparts? How do you find the complementary people? The universe or the world is closing in. The gaps are closing in now. You can reach live audiences. You can reach fans in other countries, but you can also find your soulmate, your matchmaker, the people that complement you, the people that are there, that are your kindred spirits. Bands can now have the opportunity in this digital revolution to find other band members that they otherwise would never have been able to find. You can create music together, you can create productions together, TV shows together. So the gaps are closing in. But it's really about how do you match yourself up to your counterpart? How do you create the e-harmony for yourself, for the industry, for entertainment? Not just for your husband or wife.
What's your background?
I come from eHarmony, no.
I signed up for Christian Mingle. I put down Cohen, they kicked me out. No idea. No idea. I don't know what happened there.
We're my specialty is vision product development. Companies have called on me in the past, and I've worked with a handful of different institutions, from governmental institutions to different types of medical technologies, entertainment companies, to create new ideas, new and novel concepts where they're not there, to look at how the trends are indicating for the future with the direction in which these industries are migrating to, and how do we create communal forces to be able to achieve goals or to execute on vision and ideas and implement it in new product and new product features.
So, some of the problems, what are
the dream killers. Let's take a look for a second. We put it up there. What are the dream killers for most, and this again transcends even the artists, because how many people are in the industry right now, represent the industry? The decision makers, the labels, the producers, the publishers, the people that are hiding under the tables right now. How many of them? Right? And how many represent the talents? Right? People that are aspiring, that are trying to get the emerging artists, that are trying to get discovered. You know, we did a focus group, but prior to even developing this, we spent 6 months, I hired 8 people, I put them in a room, and I wanted to know everything that they could find out about the industry and where the industries are going, and how the industries are intersecting and converging. Facebook, when they IPO'd, I remember the day we were sitting in the office, and they had a live newscast on MSNBC, and we were watching it, and what they said was the industries, the networks, the studios, the labels are losing the battle because they're slow to change. And the reason they're slow to change is this is no longer about what you want them to see. It's all about the audience. It's crowd-driven content. The future that is upon us right now and going into and migrating into this revolution is all about the fans. They will dictate everything. They will dictate what you want to see, how they want to see it, and the people that are adapt to that now are going to be the ones that are successful. But nevertheless, we were looking at connective tissue, if you will, of underlining problems that we saw that were dream killers. And these are the 4 biggest ones that we noticed. Number 1, no connectivity. You know, how does a girl in Podunk, Idaho, nobody's from Podunk, that's really the place. How does she find her way out of Idaho? How does she get discovered? Just short of coming out to New York City and setting up camp and going out there and handing out her music the traditional way, even using some of the tools that are on the internet. How does she really get connections? Right now it's all about connectivity, right? And we'll explore that in a few minutes, but it's connecting to your audience, it's connecting to your fans, it's connecting to each other, it's connecting to opportunities that present itself. But most people have no idea. I mean, the internet's vast and expansive, but at the end of the day, I guarantee you that 90% of us go to 5 sites. 5 sites that we probably frequent over and over and over again. And those are the 5 sites that we just probably live by and live with. Nobody really reaches out of that base. But most people, their problem, number 1, is connectivity. Number 2 problem is leverage. An artist that's starting out in today's market that tries to do a deal, or at least we found when we were doing film and television pitching, is you had no leverage. What previous track record did you have before? And how do you use your leverage when trying to negotiate a position with a network, with a studio, with a record label, with a publisher? Unless you have some sort of a leverage position, you really become noise. And at that moment in time, you really have no negotiating power whatsoever. How do you use your fan base to connect with other people? And one of the biggest problems that we saw is that everybody, you have Facebook, you have YouTube, you have all these other sites out there right now that offer you a leverage position because you can create fans. But that is all manipulative. I mean, how many people see all of the articles about these big companies that bought likes, that bought views, right? You look at companies that are doing that, even though you have that, how do you turn a like into a fan that becomes a fan that'll go to bat for you, a fan that'll scout for you, promote for you, and we can use some of the tools to do that. One of the other things that we have, which nobody else has, is we have something called proactive fans, and I wasn't supposed to talk about Showpitch, but I guess we are. We have proactive fans and not reactive fan building. Most of the companies out there are what's called reactive fans. You put up something on social media, you'd use the exponential values of having somebody contact another person, that fan reaches out to another fan, and another fan, hopefully something goes viral. Virals are anomalies and are not the standard norm. But what if there was a place that you had that fans identified what they wanted? I like this type of music. I like this type of content. Hey, I'm gonna raise my hand. Come and find me when you have something of interest to me. Because that's what they want. The fans want to be pitched. They want to find, they want to discover new things. The problem is that the system is set up now where things are shoved upon them. If you flip that around and allow them to be the ones in control, the guards come down, they are more receptive, and they are going to engage you. So on Showpitch, we built a proactive fan area where you can actually go in like you would find each other. You can go find fans, and then you can try to get these fans and solicit them to become fans of yours.
Sure, we'll have to skip to the footage.
Yeah, I know, I think we're going to be out of it. The next one is no money. How many artists out there have millions of dollars in their bank account? Huh? All right, no money and no time. Go ahead.
You can skip over that one.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
Oh, you want to go to what it looks like? I mean, this was not a pitch on Showpitch, but we talked about it. All right, that's it. Then, hey, Paul, cue up slide number 2.
He's going to kill me. Paul's coming out here with a hammer to hit me.
And now let's unveil Showpitch.
There we go. We'll have to skip to the footage.
Yeah, I know, I think we're gonna be out of it. The next one is no money. How many artists out there have millions of dollars in their bank account? Huh? All right, no money
You
and
can
no
skip over
time.
that one.
Go ahead.
You can skip over that one.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
Oh, you want to go to what it looks like? I mean, this was not a pitch on Showpitch, but we talked
What the
about
hell?
it. All right, that's it. Then, hey, Paul,
You got 2 minutes.
cue up slide number 2. All right, connecting to each other. Connecting to the cutting to the
This was private. Oh, last minute.
Oh, I see. Thanks.
Where am I going?
good
Paul.
It's a good one.
Paul, this is going the wrong way, Paul.
This is for you. Oh, is it?
It's a video.
Jeez, Paul. You're with it.
Paul, come on,
look at the video.
Paul, you're
The video,
Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Paul. There we go. Where's the video?
All right, Paul, that's it, we're done. Paul, we're back on the video.
Paul, we love you. Paul will be doing the lights and sound for Bruce
60
Springsteen.
degree low.
He's going to kill me. Paul's coming out here with a hammer to hit me.
That's
And
it.
now let's unveil Showpitch.
There we go. Audio,
Audio, Paul.
sound and lights, and video.
Non-disclosure.
The whole audience has to raise their hand, sign the NDA, okay? We're all in. Great. Thank you. Bye.